What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be going through a weighted plyo ball velocity program. We're going to be using a variety of weighted balls, and we're going to be using something called the RPE scale, or the rate of perceived exertion. And basically this is a 1 to 10 scale where 1 is not requiring much energy at all, basically sitting on the couch, and 10 is maximum intensity. You're going as hard as you can. Now for the velocity program, we're going to be using an RPE of 10 for every single throw, but the weights of the balls are going to be changing throughout the program. Before you do a velocity plyo ball program, I'm going to expect you to be fully warmed up. So if you haven't seen our plyo ball warm-up routine, check that out before you get started. So here you go. So here's a breakdown of the program. We're basically going to be doing pull downs every other throw, and then in between that we're going to be doing a drop step pickoff, a step back throw, a front step pickoff, and a rocker throw. The different weights are shown in the second column with different shades. And the RPE scale over there shows a 10, which is just max intensity for every single throw. This program is designed for the skeletally mature, so I definitely wouldn't recommend if your growth plates still aren't fused yet, or if you don't have the strength to complete the program. For our version of the pull downs, we're just going to do a little bit of a pro step and then a max effort throw at the end of that. I'm not actually a fan of these running pull downs because why would you ever do that as a pitcher? But the basic idea here is that you're performing a motion similar to long toss, except at the very end, instead of angling up, you're pulling the ball down and throwing it as hard as possible. And our slow-mo here basically shows that pro step and then the max effort throw, pulling down, not angling up. For the drop step pickoff, you face away from the wall and bring the stance leg forward, planting it and loading that leg before turning and throwing the ball at the wall as hard as possible. The key here is to load that back leg so you create a lot of elastic energy in that back side, and you can use it to transfer the energy forward. The step back throw is another way to load the back leg. With this one, we just pick up the back leg and plant the stance leg hard into the ground before transferring that energy forward and throwing as hard as possible. See the back leg load here and use that elastic energy to power the hips and body forward. I'm calling this one the front step pickoff because it's basically the opposite of the drop step pickoff. Here we're going to face the wall and bring the stance leg back, load the leg and create that elastic energy before driving forward and throwing as hard as possible. I like this one because it forces the hips and trunk to change direction, and it can increase activation in those areas. The last throw we're going to go over is the rocker throw. Here we're going to be in a wide stretch position where we shift our weight forward and then backwards before using that energy to throw as hard as possible. Here you can see the weight shift forward, then return to load the back leg, turn the hip and front foot, and throw as hard as possible. All right, folks, I hope this is helpful for y'all. If you have any questions at all, comment or send a message at the link below, and we'll see you next time.